So, the game, Hurricanes versus the Reds. I've started making this video, and the game is still playing. There's still 10 minutes left. I've stopped watching at 65th minute, so this review is gonna end at 64th minute. Okay, so I don't know what's gonna happen after. I don't care what's gonna happen after. I think the Hurricanes look like they just scored. The score's been updated here, but I don't care. This game is atrocious. The players did, and that's not because of the players. Okay, it's nothing to do with the players. It's this referee, James Doleman. Okay, he single-handedly ruined this game for all of us. He's an absolute buffoon. He shouldn't be refereeing ever again. Awful referee. I can't believe this guy has a job. This guy gets paid to do what he's doing. Half the stuff on the field, he misses out, and the TMO calls him. He's like, TMO, like, I'm pretty sure the TMO is tired of doing his job. The TMO calls him again and again and again to look at the things that he's missed. And he's making it like, literally, he will be on the field making a decision for something, and the TMO will tell him, no, that's actually not right. And he will, like, reverse the decision or make a different decision. And then he'll make these atrocious calls that you can't believe that this guy's a referee. Atrocious. Anyway, hopefully this guy never referees again. Okay? Because he's a disgrace. He's a disgrace to all the referees that do a good job. He's a disgrace to rugby. He's a disgrace to New Zealand. He ruined this game. I genuinely cannot watch. I can't believe this. I can't believe how awful this guy is. Let's just go through this stupidity, and then you would know how stupid this idiot it was. All right. Anyway, I don't know. Right from the start, about a few minutes in, the Hurricanes, this is actually a really good game. That's why I'm so angry. This was a really good game, and this idiot decides to just, anyway. Straight from the start, the Hurricanes did really well. They had they actually got in the front foot right away. They had a quick line out, 2 quick phases, and they had a really short ball to Lomapi. And this is the last game for Lomapi as well. And he's played super well. Every time he got the ball, he's threatening. And he looked like he came out of the onto the field to try to, give something back to the fans. He's going overseas. So this is the last game he's going to be playing in Super Rugby in the near future. Anyway, he gets a short ball from, I think from Ruben Love, I think his name is. Anyway, he gets this and runs this nice line, bumps off the tackle from Hunter Paisami, just goes straight in, try. And the whole place, all right, this is in Wellington. The whole place just popped off. Everybody was cheering. It's so loud. This was the loudest the crowd has been for the whole game. Okay, Lumapi, the legend, goes in for a try. This was like, 2-3 minutes into the game? Man, he looked so good. It's such a shame that we're not going to be able to see him anymore in next year. But he looked magnificent this whole game. And this try, man, he was on fire. And then a few minutes later, around 7 minutes, the Reds actually tried to fight back. They were building phases, building really well. And the Tongan Thor says, I'm going to have a go. All right, he gets the ball. He runs into like 3 people. Like this was, the Reds were really close to the try line, about a few minutes out. So he picks up the ball from the back of the ruck, and he just crashes over. Okay, imagine Tupou. He's like 130 something kilos. I think it's 128, maybe a little bit lighter now. 128, 130 kilos. He crashes over. He's over the line. The Hurricanes holds him up, pulls him back. Drags him down like a meter short, okay? Not a meter short, like 6 inches short, right? And Tupou hits the ground. He reaches out, goes over. And the referee goes, okay, let's have a look. I think there's a double movement. First of all, as far as I know, when you get tackled on the ground, you have one chance to make a move to release the ball or to place it over the try line. I am pretty sure that's the rule. And Tupou gets, he goes over the line. He'd never touched the ground. Okay, he never touched the ground when he go over the line. He gets like pulled back, right? He gets like, imagine he's kind of like, you know, getting held up, but he wasn't on the ground. He gets like dragged back, and then he reaches out for a try. I think that's probably a try, but I mean, I'm not too fussed about this one because, yeah, okay, you can argue that when he was over the try line, his knees touched the ground. That's technically like on the ground, and then he reached out again. So I'm not too worried about that. But that could have been a try, like a 50-50 call could have been a try. Anyway, 13 minutes later, or 13 minutes into the game, there was the Reds were again building a lot of pressure in the Hurricanes half, looking like they're about to threaten to score. Oh, look like Hurricanes scored again. Look, the score just ticked up. Anyway, look, you're watching it live, guys. The Hurricanes just scored again. So the Reds were building a lot of pressure, and the Hurricanes were able to do really, really well to get themselves out of trouble. And the Hurricanes tried to kick their own ball out of their own 22, and the ball was charged down. Okay, and then Ruben Love gets the ball and he slips through a little gap, and he ran like, this was a really good play as well. He ran like maybe 20, 30 meters, and then he offloads to Lumape, who ran a few meters, and then he offloaded to Julian Savea. He then gets tackled, and then he looked like he dropped the ball, all right? But the referee didn't blow the whistle. So it was played on. I think somebody else scooped up, and then eventually that guy offloaded to Lumape, I think again. Might have been Lumape, it might be someone else, but I think it might be, anyway. Eventually, Hurricanes goes over, and then the referee goes, on-field decision try. Check, like it was pretty blatant knock on. Like honestly, it was really, really obvious knock on. The referee goes, let's check for the knock on. So, despite the fact that when Savea got tackled, the ball clearly came out and rolled forward, they let it play it on, and they wanted to TMO check that. So they TMO checked it, yet obviously knock on. And at this point, the Hurricanes were all looking like getting ready to celebrate a try. Jordy Barrett's getting ready for the kick. And the referee's like, okay, no try, knock on, scrum. Okay? And now, you would not believe what's going to happen next. There's a Reds player down in midfield. So first of all, before the charge down, this whole thing happened, the Hurricanes were able to turn the ball over. When Tay McDermott had the ball, he ran in, and he just got, he looked like he ran through a brick wall, and he was just like, bam, straight into, and it looked like there was a high shot on McDermott, and then he kind of lost the ball, and that's how the Hurricanes turned the ball over, and that's when they started trying to kick the ball out, and then this whole chain of, tries started, because it looked like there was a high shot on McDermott. So the Reds captain, at this point, is telling the referee, there was a high shot back there, and the referee just completely ignoring him. Just no, we're gonna have a scrum. Completely ignore it. No F's given, right? And then he's like, all right, let's go for scrum. And one of the Reds prop is on the ground, getting checked, right? And then he's just waiting and he's like, okay, we can't carry on because he's a prop. Let's wait for him you can't pack the scrum without a prop. So the Reds prop, number one, not Tupou, he's just it looks like his head got hurt. So then the TMO calls in and says there's potential foul play. Because the Reds player is there, holding his head, he looked like he's dazed, right? And then the TMO calls in and says, oh, there's potential foul play or whatever. And the referee, very, reluctantly, you can tell he's he really didn't want to look at it. He's like, all right, let's have a look at the potential foul play. So they look at the foul play. So there was two high shots actually. The one that was pretty obvious on TV looked pretty dangerous. The McDermott one didn't show up. So they showed another one where the Reds prop number 1. Let's just get their name right, okay? These players deserves to know the names. They made there was a bit of a change because who cares about the score? We should probably get the name right. Yeah. Fukutai. Yeah. Fukutai, he gets, because sometimes Xander's playing, so it's, anyway. Fukutai, he gets like a shoulder charge high shot to the head. There was no arms. And even the commentary was like, yeah, that's a red card. There's no arms, just straight shoulder to the head. Should just be a red card. And the referee goes, Fukuaika. Anyway, the referee goes, the ball carrier was dropping height and then hit him in the head. So that's mitigating factor as a yellow card. Okay, first of all, mitigating factor only applies if the tackle is a legitimate tackle. This guy's just went in with the shoulder, no arms wrapped around. Mitigating factor don't apply here. It's like he's put a shoulder charge on him. There's no mitigating factor in the shoulder charge. It doesn't matter. It's a red card. So the referee imaginarily thought there was mitigating factor for something that it's blatantly red card regardless, sends the Hurricane player off with a yellow card. Okay, so, first of all, why wasn't this checked? The game played on for like 2 minutes where Hurricane almost scored, right? And nobody checked. And then it was until this player was on the ground getting HIA checked, getting a HIA, and then they went back have a look. Why wasn't this checked right away? Like 5 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago when this happened. Just awful refereeing altogether. And then when they back had a look, clearly shoulder charge, no arm wrapped, like the guy had no arm wrapped around the other player. Even the commentators were like, yeah guys, that's don't do this at home. That is very dangerous. If you're a kid out there watching this, don't do this. That's very dangerous. That is a red card. And the referee somehow made a conclusion. It was a yellow. There's mitigating factor to a foul play, to a shoulder charge. There's mitigating foul. It's your fault you drop your head into the shoulder charge. Oh my God. God forbid, this guy tried to shoulder charge you and you drop your head into it. It's your fault, okay? It's only a yellow card because you're half to blame for dropping your face into someone's shoulder charge. Just like, unbelievable, right? Anyway, so the Reds were having really like good scrums for the entire game. Every time there's a scrum, the Reds just destroy the Hurricane scrum, and it was just a full-on penalty all day. And also the Reds lineouts were really good too. Even the Hurricanes were losing their own lineouts, so the Reds did really well in that front as well, right? And then eventually, with one player off in the bin. So the Reds were having the dominant scrum already with I think the guy who was the number 7. Yeah, Karifi got yellow carded for the high shot. So the fact that the scrums are already struggling for the Hurricanes. Now that the Karifi's in the bin, the Hurricanes opted to put Julian, the real deal Savia, into the 7 position. So they put Julian Savia at 7 to give him a bit more weight for the scrum. But the scrums were still like having trouble getting pushed back, but it's still like, better than not having Julian there. So the scrum was still getting pushed back, but it wasn't like too bad this one. It wasn't too bad. Still, full-on penalty against the scrum. The Harry Wilson pops the ball out to McDermott. McDermott looks up into the open side and just ran straight in. There was a big, like between the 9 and 10 channel, there was no one there. There was just 10 there. He just runs straight in, slips through, try under the sticks right away. First try back for the Reds. And this only happened because Julian Savea is put at 7 position and he didn't know what he was supposed to do. So he stayed attached to the scrum when McDermott ran down the open side. He just like stayed attached. He didn't come out. He never played 7, obviously. So McDermott were able to exploit that, get the first try down for the Reds. Okay. And then there was Yeah, and then there was a again. Okay, so then the game carried on. There was okay. This is how you can tell this referee is absolutely awful. So the game carried on. I think this is about 35 minutes into the game. There was like someone in center field. Lumape got the ball again. He's really threatening. So he's like sprinting up, trying to like make a break. And Tupou was like, Tupou was had enough of Lumape running rough shots around the field. So Tupou lined up on Lumape, runs in, basically takes out, like smacks Lumape onto the side, and knocks the ball out of his hand. Okay, this is a no-on tackle. Okay, this is a no-on tackle. This could have been a yellow card, but he didn't really hit him in the head or anything. He just went in with a no-on tackle, smacked Lumape, knocks the ball out, and the referee's like, okay, knock on scrum. And the TMO calls the referee, and like all the players are getting ready to pack the scrum. The TMO calls the referee and goes, "It's actually a no arms tackle. It's actually a penalty." So the referee has another look at the TV, and they're just like, "Oh, okay, it is no arm because Tupou didn't wrap his arm around the player. It is a no arm tackle, penalty." Okay, whatever. Jordie Barrett decides to take a kick, 3 points in, and the halftime score was 10 points to 7. So still game on at halftime. Everything was doing absolutely great for both for team, and this was a really, really good game. Okay, and then second half happened, and the referee, for some reason, just gradually got worse. Okay, it's like as he gets tired and dehydrated, he just like falls apart. He just gradually got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse towards the end of the game. So straight away from the second half, okay, get this, the Hurricanes were on the attack. I think about 3 minutes into the second half, Hurricanes were in attack. There was a really nice. There was a really nice break by the Hurricanes. I think there was a really nice break by Jordie the Freak Barrett. He offloads to one of the Hurricanes players. I can't remember. But anyway, they didn't score, so I didn't write down the exact numbers. But anyway, Hurricanes, there was a nice run by Jordie Barrett. Hurricanes got really, really close. They were about 5 minutes. So they made a break, like a nice break. And then so Dargunu was chasing back, and he makes a nice tackle on the ball carrier just about 5 meters out. I think it was number 7, Karifi. Yeah, Karifi. He makes a nice tackle on Karifi, and he drags him down 5 meters before try line. So the quick ball comes out. One of the Hurricanes player comes up, picks up the ball, and runs again, like a quick pick up and run. And Dargunu gets up on his feet. After he gets up on his feet, sees the player running with the ball, he makes another tackle, right? And the referee blows the whistle for advantage. And then anyway, I think the Hurricanes knock on after that. And then the referee goes, okay, advantage offside. Okay, and then this is like 1 minute into the first half, like 3 minutes into the first half, by the way. And then once the advantage, Hurricane knocked on, he's like, okay, advantage, just let me try again. Advantage offside, and he double taps the whistle. He goes, hang on, I want to see which number was it for advantage offside. So he thinks that the offside was cynical, but he didn't know which number it was, so he wants to double check. So imagine he pauses the game, he goes to watch the replay, and the replay showed there was no offside, basically. Dargunu goes back, makes the tackle, gets up on his feet, makes another tackle, so he's not offside. The referee thought somebody had ran back and on their way back made a tackle, but no one did that. Nobody did that. Everybody was actually onside. There was actually no offside. And the referee just goes, yeah, 11. He had a look. There was even the commentators were like, that doesn't really look like an offside at all. And then the referee, because he's a tackle, because Dargunu ran back, made the tackle, he gets up on his feet, after making the tackle. That's not offside. He's the tackler, right? Like he's not offside. And then the referee goes, okay, 11, you got up on his feet, you tackled the player within your close to your try line. That's cynical. Sends him off the yellow card. And the commentary at the moment is just like, oh, that's the wrong decision. That's the tackler. He's like he's not offside. He's a tackler. So Daguna gets sent off with no warning whatsoever. Just like, and the first time, this is pretty much like the first penalty in the first half, in the second half, and it's just like, yep, yellow card. That was an infringement in your own 5 minutes. And even Daguna was like confused, like, what did I even do? What offside? I made the tackle. What offside? I chased him and she made the tackle, and it just gets sent. Okay, so everybody's confused, but Daguna goes off for 10 minutes. And then taking advantage of one missing person, the Hurricanes took a quick tap. 2 quick plays later, there was they spread the ball out wide. There was 2 quick passes, and then there was a nice wide long pass to Ruben Love. He finds himself a gap between the winger. He come back on an angle between the winger and the second last guy on the wing. He comes back to a nice angle, runs in for the second try for the Hurricanes. And just like that, the Hurricanes scored with Reds 1 man in the bin. But the game is still good at this point. Like, it's not over for the Reds by any point. It's only 10 points behind, all right? And it's like 3 minutes in the second half. Anyway, the Reds were able to get the kickoff. The Reds did a kickoff. They were able to recover the ball from the kickoff. So the Reds strikes right back after the try scores. Get the ball back, and they just start building faces for inside the Hurricanes half. Just attacking, building pressure. Eventually, Reds got really, really close to try line. And Payangamosa got the ball, and with the help of Tupou and one other Reds player, it might have been Angus Scott-Young or someone else, just grabbed him, all three of them just launched him in. He was really close and really low, crashes over for the second try for the Reds. With 1 play in the bin, the Reds will score their try, 5 try back, and suddenly Reds only 3 points behind again, okay? And it was really, really, really close. And then the referee, at this point, the game is really good. Despite the yellow card, okay, not great, but still good. There's not bad. 55 minutes, 55th minutes, okay? Again, the referee has no idea what he's talking about. There was a scrum, and the Reds been dominating the scrum all game. Like all game, the Hurricane scrum could not match up the Red scrum. And every scrum happens, there was basically a penalty against the Hurricanes for like collapsing. So there was 55 minutes, there was another scrum. And again, the Reds dominated scrum, and the Hurricanes folded. And then it looked like it was going to be a penalty, and the referee blows the whistle, and it's like penalty against the Reds. It's almost like the referee has given too many penalties against the Hurricanes for the scrum. He just decided to give it the other way for fun. And then the Reds were like, what? Why? We're dominating the scrum. And the referee goes, your loose head, knee touched the ground, and that's a penalty. So I'm pretty sure he got right back up after his knee touched the ground. But anyway, he says that's the penalty. Anyway, okay, whatever. So despite the fact that if that's the case, right? If that's the case, then he should have blown the penalty when his knee touched the ground, right? Instead of waiting for the scrum to get absolutely demolished and then goes, okay, wait, your knee touched the ground, it's a penalty. Anyway, I don't understand how that works, where like the scrum is over, like completely just demolished and over, and then he goes an offense for something that happened like the first second in the scrum. Like as soon as scrum engaged, the loose head, his knee slipped to the ground, and he gets himself back up. So as soon as the scrum happened, his knee touched the ground for like a split second. So I don't know why he didn't penalize him right there and there. He waited for the scrum to be completely demolished, and then goes, okay, your knee touched the ground, penalty. But anyway, and that's not even the worst thing. It gets even worse from here, okay? It gets even worse. So, something else happened here, right? Yeah, so about a few minutes later, okay, I was watching this and thinking, okay, this referee is really bad. And then the Hurricanes, I kid you not, one of the Hurricanes had the ball, and their number 9, let's get his name right, Wildkard, okay? Imagine this. He's about to do a box kick, really obviously setting up for a box kick, okay? A few minutes later after this scrum, he's really obviously setting up for a box kick. And then he gets his hand in the ruck, right? And he goes like this, without taking the ball out. He looks at the Reds defender, he goes like this, to try to bait him to offside, like this, and then he takes the ball out for the kick. I am 100% sure that is a penalty. You cannot fake taking the ball out of the ruck to bait the other team for offside. I am 100% sure that's a penalty. I think, in fact, there might have been a reserve. I think it might have been a reserve guy that did that. But anyway, that is 100% a penalty. You're not allowed to fake taking the ball out of the ruck to bait a penalty like that. He went like, put his hand on the ruck, and he went like this, looking like he's about to take the ball out. That's 100% penalty, and the referee didn't call it. And I was just like, okay, some obvious penalty there you did not see. Anyway, who am I to judge? I'm just a random guy on YouTube, all right? It gets worse from here. Anyway, sorry. A few minutes later, 58th minute, there was a big run from Malapi. Once again, he runs, he carries the ball really strong. Gang took the ball over the advantage line, gets the ball out, quick ball to Geordie the Freak Barrett. Okay, and this is where the Freak Barrett really showing why he's the cream of the crop of the Barrett family. Yes, I said it. He's the cream of the crop. He gets the ball. He bumps up 2 defenders. He gets the ball in like a pretty poor position because Lamapi gets over the advantage line. He offloaded. And he ends up at Geordie Barrett's hand. He gets ball in a pretty awkward position. He kind of runs sideways, shrugged off two defenders, and then he runs back the other way. He runs to one side, and then he turns back around the other side. And it's just a line of defenders in front of him. He was just running sideways. They're just picking which 2 defenders he wants to run at. And he picks out 2 forwards in the middle of the defense line. And he just runs straight through. Honestly, freakishly good. He just runs straight through after slipping off 2 tackles. And then so eventually he gets chased down. He gets tackled about 5 meters, 10 meters out, just in front of the try line. And the commentators were saying, Geordie Barrett just ran through 5 tacklers. There was 5 missed tackles just then. Absolutely superb run from Geordie Barrett. And the ball comes back out. There was quick ball. The Reds are scrambling back in defense. There's quick ball, a long cutout wide pass to the winger, Dan Cole, of course. The winger, Dan Coles, he gets the ball, he runs in, no one in front of him, try time. Beautiful try setup, and Geordie Barrett just literally created a try out of thin air. He is absolutely, in my opinion, the best fullback in the world right now. He is just so good, especially for test matches. He's just going to be an absolute instrumental for the All Blacks. I don't see Beauden Barrett taking his spot. Beauden, the Black Sheep Barrett, probably going to be on the bench or not even making the team. Just by how stacked the All Blacks are. But anyway, that's a conversation for another time. But yeah, again, that's 58th minute. Everything's still really, really good. And then a couple minutes later, around 60 minutes. So yeah, so Hurricanes scores again, the 3rd try, and then a few minutes later, the Reds were running the ball, and I think it was, Karifi again. Yeah, Karifi. The Reds player gets tackled, he goes in, he rips the ball out, turns the ball over. The referee goes, turnover is good. He turns the ball over, and then he rolls on his back and he kind of gets tackled at the same time. He rolls his back, try to place the ball back. And then Payangamosa, he was on the ground. He kind of he's the one kind of tackling him on the ground. And then he puts his hand up, knocks the ball off the hand of Karifi, which is the cynical knock. It's a penalty, right? So obviously that's a penalty. The referee is right there. He's 2 meters away from the rock, looking at this. And the referee goes, oh, knock on. He calls knock on for Karifi, red scrum fee. And then again, the TMO gets on his quick dial. He calls the referees, and he's like, no, it's actually a player played the ball from inside the rock. It's actually a penalty against the Reds. And the referee's like, oh, okay, penalty against the Reds. I just got a call from myself. And all the players on the field just confused, like, what? You just said it was knock on. Where's the penalty? And the commentators are confused as well. Commentators are like, what? What happened? Where is playing the ground? Is it this rock? Is it something that happened in another rock? And the commentators were confused. And eventually they showed it after like multiple replays, the wrong replays being showed. And eventually they found the right one. They showed Pangamosa on the ground, like knocking the ball off Karisa, which is a penalty. Okay, so the right decision was made eventually, but it was just like utter confusion on the field. Everyone's like, "What the hell?" The commentators like, "What?" And then the TV producers were trying to find which where they're looking at, which penalty are we looking at, which rock are we looking at. It's like showing different, showing the wrong footage, and eventually they got to the right one. So yeah, okay, so that turned into penalty. And then the Hurricanes went on the attack. They weren't going anywhere. So Hurricanes decided to do a brilliant move. They did a nice grubber kick into the end zone. Like a nice grubber kick. The ball was bouncing in the end zone. And it was Bryce Hegarty. And I think Lumape, once again, was chasing the ball, right? And both players tried to dive on the ball. And Hegarty, he gets there first. And he hits the ball, right? And knocks the ball out in bound. Okay, now, intentional knocking the ball out of bounds in the try zone is a penalty. You're not allowed to just like smack the ball out of bounds intentionally. But Bryce Hegarty clearly looked like he was trying to ground the ball. And the ball, like, because his hand, right, if you can see my hand, his hand is going downwards like this, okay? And the ball hit it at a weird angle and ricocheted off his hand and went off bound. He clearly looked like he was, like his hand's going downwards like this. If he was intentionally trying to push the ball out, his hand would be like straight. It would be going straight or even like going sideways or something, right? If he try to swipe the ball out or if he's trying to push the ball out, he'll be straight. But his hands were like intended down. It's going down like this. He's trying to place the ball down and he's smacking him on the finger, it goes down. So the referee goes for the review. Everybody's looking at the review going, yeah, that's fine. Like, he's trying to ground the ball, and it ricocheted off his hand and went out. Even the TV commentators were like, yeah, we're seeing it. Okay, let's get on with it. Goal line dropout. He's, just accidentally knocked the ball out. So first of all, it has to be deliberately knock the ball out. So you have to be intentionally. So for somehow they have to estimate that the player has intentionally had the intention to knock the ball out, to push the ball out of bounds. Okay. So they watch this and the referee, everyone's like, all the commentators like, okay, let's get it ready for the dropout. He failed to ground the ball. The ball ricocheted off his hand, went out. Not an issue. The referee has a look and he goes, okay, so the TMO didn't make the decision. Okay. The TMO didn't make the decision. The referee looks at footage and decides to make a decision on his own. He goes, I've had a look at the footage. It looks like the player has deliberately knocked the ball out of bounds, and that's a yellow card and a penalty try. Like, at this point, all the commentators were confused. And the fans were confused. Some fans were cheering. Half the fans at Wellington were cheering. And the other half were just like, what? What? Like, your own, like, Wellington fans don't even know how to do with this. The commentators are confused. And the commentators, like, the fans are confused. Everybody's confused. How did you come up with this conclusion? Nobody knows. Did you not see he tried to ground the ball with his hand? They show the video footage again and again and again. He tried to ground the ball. And then the ball ricocheted off his hand and went out. And then he's just like, nah, he knocked it out intentionally. And also, like, how do you estimate that he intentionally knocked the ball out of bound? Okay, how did he estimate that intention? You have to... Anyway, it's just like the referee's a mind reader. He read his mind. It was Bryce Hegarty. He read Bryce Hegarty's mind. He was like, yeah, he had the intention. I read it. I managed to read his mind that he had the intention to knock the ball bound, despite the video referee showing that he was trying to ground the ball, but his intention was to knock the ball out. Yeah, because I can read his mind. I am the referee. James Doleman. I know how to read minds. He had the intention. Anyway, he gave us a penalty try, and everybody in the red team's confused. Half the fans in Wellington who pay money to watch this is confused. The commentators are confused, and the commentators are straight out calling him wrong. Okay, both commentators are Kiwi, by the way. This is not Australian commentators. This is not like biased Reds commentators. These are New Zealand commentators, straight up calling him wrong. And I turned off the TV at this point. And you probably saw the score ticked up since I started this video. Hurricanes look like they scored a couple more tries. I haven't seen it. You probably shouldn't watch this game if you have it on demand. It'll be a waste of your time. And this referee should be fired. Okay? And 36 minutes of ranting for a game that's not even finished. I never want to see this referee again. Please, just get rid of him. Absolutely awful. Awful. This was a really good and competitive game for 60 minutes or so. Okay? And then the referee ruins it with this. Anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys a bit later for the next game. And I hope this guy gets fired. And I never want to see him again, because I don't want to pay money to watch this idiot play. The idiot referee. Okay? Just not worth my time. Not worth my money. Just get rid of him, please.